So why do people set up trusts?
Well, actually, to most everyday folks, people think that trust is something only for the most wealthy. But contrary to most intuitive beliefs, trust is a form of estate planning and asset protection tool that is available to most families if you wish to. So we talked about the estate planning benefits of using a trust to hold assets vis-a-vis holding assets by yourself. What does that mean? For instance, many people in Hong Kong, particularly younger generation people, they are not aware of a concept called inheritance. For instance, touch wood, when I pass away, I would be passing my assets to my offsprings. And if I didn't set up a trust, then I would be hopefully needing a will. And according to the will, my offsprings would be able to inherit my assets. But in legal practice, that process of inheritance actually entails a legal concept called probate, which means when I pass away, my offsprings, they need to hire a lawyer, go through a Hong Kong court, file for inheritance, and after the probate process, they'll be able to legally inherit what I left over to them. It is lucky that Hong Kong actually doesn't have inheritance tax. But in many jurisdictions, for instance in the UK, inheritance tax can be quite high and the process of probate can be quite lengthy. So as opposed to if I had the wisdom to set up a living trust when I was still alive and put my assets into the trust for the benefits of my offsprings, even when I pass away, this bypasses the inheritance process, which is not only lengthy but also costly. So this bypasses the inheritance and the probate. In many jurisdictions, for instance in Hong Kong, the trust law stipulates that a trust survives the settlor in the sense that a trust has no finite life. There's no end date of a trust. So whenever I set up a trust, my offsprings as beneficiaries will always be able to enjoy the benefits of the assets without actually inheriting the assets. So that's the first benefit of having a trust, particularly a family trust. The second benefit of a trust is asset protection. Now, what does that mean? Because in setting up a trust, the settlor has already transferred the titles and ownerships of the assets to a trust, which is held by the trustee and custodian for the trust beneficiaries. So what that entails is that the assets no longer belong to, for instance, me. In the event of a divorce or bankruptcy, these assets are no longer deemed as owned by the settlor himself or herself. Hence, in principle and in theory, and often in practice as well, the assets under a trust are not included in the proceedings of a divorce or a bankruptcy. So that will effectively ring-fence the assets from potential claim, from unexpected, unpleasant legal proceedings. So that's the second benefits of a trust. Obviously, there are many benefits of a trust for corporates and for families as well. We are more than happy at Added Trustee. We're more than happy to do a free consultation and answer your questions and design bespoke programs and structures for you and your family to protect your assets.